First of all, it's called International Energy Week. So, this has been a long historic event, International Petroleum Week, IP Week. The last 3 years, though, have all been about the transition, actually, and put climate change at the centre of the conference. So what used to be an oil and gas event a decade ago, has really been an energy. So we changed the name this year intentionally. And of course, the conversation all this week has been about the transition. Overshadowed a little bit with what's going on in Ukraine, quite clearly as well, and energy price and everything else. But if you look at and I'm optimistic because, if you listen to what's been said on Tuesday and on Wednesday and indeed today, there's just so much enthusiasm around the transition. There used to be always these points of difference. It felt a bit tribal at times, a left-hand side and a right-hand side. It just doesn't feel that today at all. And this week's really exemplified the fact that the energy industry has come together. And it's converged, I think, without any question, around the fact that there's a crisis. It's converged around the fact that also the different parts of the energy sector can do so much more to collaborate. We've been hearing that this morning. And it's also converged around the recognition of a theme that I've often talked about. We have an inability to have a very well-organised plan.
Yeah.
Because we just can't do that, and everyone would just love a sort of a plan. What's next year, what's the year afterwards, and so on and so forth. And I think a real understanding that we just got to get on with things. We've got to accelerate things, and things will become clearer from a technology point of view and a behavioural point of view once we start to drive the change in the transition. So I'm going to leave this, I think, with another degree of optimism, but a recognition again, as usual, there's still an enormous amount to do.
Thanks. That was great. I mean, it's really, as well, I think what you're saying from the point of view of oil and gas, combining with the rest of the industry, and what you're saying with sides before, I think today we've seen a lot of people aren't feeling that way. There's a lot of chat about being open with each other. And I saw your speech, actually, your conversation, I should say, with Greg Hans on the opening day of the conference online. And he touched on the point there of we need everyone together, especially when we touched on the Russia and Ukraine situation. He was saying, we're lucky that perhaps we don't have so much invested in that in terms of our energy supply from Russia. But it's obviously a key part of the energy mix. Would you just mind saying, from your point of view, really, what you thought about his comments and what you think about the situation there at the moment?
Well, the key thing he said that I was really excited about was he said net zero is the answer, was the words he actually used. And I think, when you're having a conversation about what is the impact today, then clearly the impact today is a pricing impact for the UK. There's a security supply issue in Europe. But the long-term impact is to wean ourselves off fossil fuels, and and we will decouple ourselves from global politics in that sense, and from commodity prices that historically have always shocked. I mean, gas prices are still very high, but they're half what they were only 6 months ago at the moment. But of course, that's not going to happen tomorrow. This is a journey. So the journey, and I think his point, net zero is the answer, is right. We must continue to do what we are doing. And what I was pleased to hear from a politician, therefore, was let's stick with the strategy we've got. Let's not be knocked off course by short-term events, because actually moving away from fossil fuels in the medium to longer term is the right answer for decarbonisation, the right answer for security of supply, and the right answer for consumers to be resilient to shocks in the future. We've just got to accelerate it.